match week 7, and Man United, Ten Hag, grinding out a 0-0 draw. Impressive. Fully kept Ten Hag with a job.
Ten Hag in.
So defensively, yeah, we were all right, but
all right. Man of the match,
Johnny Evans, 36.
Johnny Evans. He only came to Man United to train, and he's in the squad.
He's your best centre back. He's displaced the butcher Martinez. He's been dropped.
Well, everybody's turning vegan, so it's not the end thing at the moment. No, it's one of those. What's their positive? Like, all right, our defense played well against Villa. Like, we always win at Villa, but obviously not this time. We're just awful to watch. It's painful to watch us. There's nothing good to say at the moment. I don't even want to watch.
No identity.
There's nothing. We were talking on the last podcast about patterns of play and the feeling you get. You flick it on and you're just waiting to be bad. Basically, it's just awful.
Yeah,
it's horrible to watch. I've lost all hope. I'm dejected. Oh, I've never.
It wasn't. I never of the season. Champions elect. So, given up all hope within 7 game weeks,
and it's been the worst start to a season ever for Man United. 8 points after 7 games.
This happens every year. But
he broke his own record. He broke his own record.
Last season was 9 points.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Solskjaer, then Ten Hag, and Ten Hag again?
Yeah, 9 points, and now 8 points after 7
games. So we're smashing it, right? So,
well, you're only 1 point off being joint worst again, no? So progress could have been 0 points.
I mean, we're 5 points off bottom 3. But no, we just.
Do you reckon you're safe?
I'm assuming.
I was getting asked it when Chelsea were down in 12, so I've got to get it back in.
I just genuinely don't know what to say. We're just shit. We're shit to watch.
But coming up, right?
I never looked forward to international breaks, and I'm like, awesome. Get a weekend off. Having it ruined by United. Right, so I get that at least.
I just don't see how it's going to get fixed anytime soon.
Well, they've run up, and I'm looking at their run up. They've got Brentford at home.
So we'll continue to roll within a minute.
I'm talking Premier League. Brentford at home, West Ham away, Leicester at home.
Not easy,
right?
That's easy.
So, and then they've got Chelsea. Okay, will he still be there at the Chelsea game?
I don't know if he'll still be there at the Brentford game.
Wow.
It's an international.
Well, you think he might go after? I think he saved his job for now with the 2 draws. I think if he'd have lost both those games, he's gone. But because you didn't lose them, you were solid defensively. Like Villa didn't create anything that game. Didn't on even have? I don't know. He didn't really have anything to do.
Nobody had anything. Nobody, like literally, I was there. Like we had a shot.
I know you didn't either.
I reckon Rashford should have got sent off.
Yeah, I agree.
For the second yellow?
Yeah. It was a second yellow. But look, when you're not going to create, it's easier to defend, right? If you're going to sacrifice going forward, you can defend. Like Arsenal displayed that, like against City. But you can, you can do that. But unfortunately, football's not just about defending, right? You have to try and make chances. And the fact that, that after the game, they were talking about, we're hoping for a chance. Like, hoping for a chance.
Yeah.
You've got to create your own chances. You've got to create your own hope. You're not creating anything. And I go back to, they're playing like they don't know like they've literally just met before the game. They don't know what anybody's doing. Like there's they just don't know. The 2 good players in the last few weeks for me have been Eriksen and Evans. Both of them together are about 70 years old, right? That's insane. That's insane.
A couple years younger than you.
And if you notice, virtually all of Ten Hag's signings were on the bench this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. De Ligt on
It's
the
only
bench,
Højlund that played,
Martinez on the bench.
Mazraoui.
Yeah, Casemiro on the bench, Mount on the bench. Like, these are all the players that he wanted.
All his
and
signings.
he's mentioned them.
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. All his signings.
Anthony.
The bench was
Yeah.
his signings. Right? So that in itself tells you something. It's just it's madness.
Did De Ligt have a knock, or was he just dropped?
I think he was dropped. He was dropped because he came on at half time, right?
What was he doing? Dropping De Ligt and Martinez. I mean, he would say it paid off because you drew 0-0, but that's not where the problem is. And what sort of message is that sending? Like, now he doesn't trust the new signings that he's just bought in the summer. I think he doesn't trust any of the players he signed. Yeah,
it's panic mode. He's just, simply, I said I don't know what to say. I've said a lot, but it just seems like we're waiting for him to finish now. Like, start of the season, I wanted to give him the chance and see how it pans out, but if the results weren't there, I could put up with that. But I wanted to see a pattern of play. I wanted to see an identity.
But that would have come earlier.
But even if we were going to be a counter-attacking team, can I be honest? I don't care. But that's the way we're going to play. That's our.
And I don't know if you saw the match and whether it was a disagreement, but Van Nistelrooy was having stern words with him, right, during the game, and it's just dysfunctional everywhere. And it's coming.
People coming into the summer, people were saying United are now well run. Look at what Ineos are doing. They've changed how the clubs run. I mean, they've brought in a couple of different people. They got their faces in now. Time will tell if they are well run, but they were getting far too much credit already. They've gone out and they've done what United do every window. So yes, signing a few big names, which they do every year, and those big names yet again aren't delivering. They should have cleared out after the FA Cup and got rid of Ten Hag. Thank you, goodbye. You've done your job. You've won another trophy. We're on to the next manager, and you didn't, and it's exactly the same. It was an I'm guilty. It's going to be the same.
I'm guilty because I want to give the managers a chance. I really do. I want to give him a chance and say, okay, you're saying he's been in a mess, blah blah blah. Right, you've got everything you want now. At the beginning of the summer, not at the end, and that's important, right? Because they always say about having a complete pre-season. Well, you had a complete pre-season.
Yeah.
What have you done with it? Like, why does everyone? You've signed 3 new players or whatever. Why does everyone look like they don't know what they're doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we haven't signed bad players. This is the other thing. We haven't signed bad players, but players when they come to us become bad players. That's what's happening.
It's exactly like. I don't. It's too early to say for Chelsea that that's not happened anymore. But that's what had been happening for Chelsea for the past 2 years. We sign a player who's really good, and they go shit. And it wasn't the players; it was the manager. And you look at. I know it's again. I don't want to get ahead of myself with Chelsea because we're still very much building under this new manager. But the early signs are he's getting the most out of the players. He's getting them to play a certain way. Everyone's like, "Oh, is Cole Palmer going to be as effective?" He's found the perfect role for Cole Palmer to be effective. Madueke looks like a reformed player. Even Mudryk came on against Nottingham Forest and looked fantastic for 20 minutes. Nearly set up a fantastic goal.
Taking his chances and finishing.
Yeah, but it's not.
He didn't.
I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about is the fact that Chelsea are developing a way to approach each game, so the players know what they're doing. So that's why you've got players playing earlier passes because they know where the other guy's going to be.
Yeah,
that split second makes a huge difference. United players, they're having to look up every time. And the other thing, again, other than across the back 4, United weren't able to string 3 passes together when they're pushing forward. Not 3 passes. That's how bad it. Like 3 passes is difficult for us. I mean, I don't believe in having a million passes a game like City do and bore the hell out of the opposition into defeat. But come on, you can pass 3 times. It's just.
Do you think the
end of the season tiredness? and we're at the start of October.
Do you think the players are good enough?
I think they are. I think we've got a good enough squad for top 4 minimum. Yeah, I think we should be with the players we've got, the squad we've got now. Maybe we need a striker, right? But which club? Like so many
Doesn't.
clubs, right?
Which team other than City don't need a striker? Yeah.
We should be 3rd, 4th in my book with the squad we've got. I don't care about money we spend. I'm just talking about with the players we've got. We should be there, but we're not. We're like 11 strangers every time, relying.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced the players are. I think there's some good players in there. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not convinced the players are good enough. I think they get overrated for what they are. Rashford had one good season a couple of years ago. He's just it's so frustrating
when he needed a contract renewal.
Because he was mustard. He was mustard that season. He was so good that year. Yeah, and it'd be good for England as well. But then he goes back to this. I mean, Mason Mount's been destroyed by injuries. Fernandes hasn't got off to a great start this season. I think Garnacho's a bit overrated by United fans. Mainu, I think, is a good player. But again, he can't do it all himself in midfield, can he? So,
but Garnacho's going to be up and down because he's one of, he's a winger. He's young. You're going to have that. He's young.
Yeah,
you need somebody else there. You can't rely on him. You need somebody else there, right? But I think as a squad, we've got a really decent squad. They just don't know what they're doing, and it's part of me is thinking that I know Liverpool are top and I get slammed for this, but have United ultimately got another Dutchman overthinking it all the time, like Louis van Gaal, like overthought it. I mean, this is bad, but it's not as boring as it was watching Louis van Gaal's team, right? And he was
not far off.
But no, this is bad and boring. That was super boring. I was like literally falling asleep during the game. But this is you're just waiting for a calamity at any point.
But I know you talk about the manager, the players here, right? But it's a manager's responsibility fundamentally.
Right? He's not getting the best out of it.
If you do get rid of Ten Hag, who's going to come in? Who's going to be able to pick these players up, get them playing?
But these players have been getting managers fired for years, and whoever comes in at United, the players don't play for them anyway. So the only one they played under for any extended length of time was Solskjaer, and Mourinho got them playing a bit as well. But I think there's serious issues. You've got players on huge wages that just don't look motivated to play for the club. They need to just clear ship, take reduced prices for these players, and I think there does need to be a bit of an overhaul. You've got I just think that the issues are deeper than just. I think the manager should go. Don't get me wrong, but the guy who's coming in isn't going to have it easy.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't. The thing why Ten Hag should go, I don't see how he turns it around. I just don't.
That's the thing, right? Let's say you start in October, you start scraping a couple of wins and a draw and another win, and then you lose. Everyone's going to really quickly forget all those wins and draws, and that
But loss. That's because it's United. That's because it's United. No matter what anybody says, United's defeat is always bigger than anybody's. Right? We're front page, back page. Because I'm not going to
maybe up in Wolves.
I'm not going to say because we're the biggest club in the country, but you are. It's the paper seller. We're the paper sellers. So each defeat is there. But let's not forget, when we get beaten, we get battered, right? With a capital B. We get battered. We don't just lose like 1-0 or pathetically. Yeah. No, we get our pants pulled down, spanked around. It's like flipping Liam Neeson in Taken doing a job on us every time, right? Got a special set of skills, and teams don't need special set of skills. They just need to attack and they score. That's how crap.
But who do you bring in? But who do you bring in? Which manager?
This is the problem, right? Who do we bring in? I know that what will happen is We write off another season, and then we say, okay, Rude till the end of the season. That's what will happen.
Yeah, but it's just you could have just it could have just been avoided, this whole situation that you're back in again, if you'd just, as you had decided. I think we're getting in a new manager. The FA Cup, then everyone was like, oh, do we get in a new manager? You should have just continued with your decision, identified somebody and approached them, because now if you get rid of somebody, you bring in an interim for a few games whilst you decide, which you probably will still slightly rush the decision because you want to get a manager in, or you give an interim till the end of the season, right off the season. It's too early to be writing off the season. You're in the Europa League, you're in both cups. Like, you can't write off the season yet. You need to just get a manager in that's going to provide some stability, who's going to have a style of play. But that should have been in the summer, so you had a pre-season. Anyone coming in now,
the expert
job is so
at
much
that,
harder.
the expert at that, Gus Hiddink, has retired.
Yeah, the expert.
He comes in, wins the trophy, and then buggers off with a bonus, right? Like, and he's Dutch. No, like, it'll be. I think it'll be, when he goes, it'll be Rude till the end of the season. They'll take their time over it, or they'll say Southgate is they'll go, and then oh my God, this call's going to be awful.
But imagine Southgate comes in. Maybe you do need a manager that's just going to come in and bring the harmony back, which is what Southgate is good at.
Well, he did it.
Like, maybe that is what you need.
He did
exactly. I know he didn't get into the final level.
The worst thing
is, got you competing.
I know I'm desperate now because I'm even considering you're not wrong. That's how bad it's got. That's how bad it is. Realize my pain. I'm actually going, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
but
he's bang on.
I've been hearing all sorts of names. Xavi coming in, but Potter, Southgate, Rude, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised if Rude came in under the notion that if the boss goes, I get a chance.
Yeah.
He'll be the obvious option, right? He's there.
Yeah.
He's seeing it with his own eyes. He knows the frustrations. He knows what the players do and don't do. Probably more what they don't do.
And it's early enough for him to say, wash his hands with it, right?
Yeah. But because the players, I feel like the players, a new manager comes in, the players are up for it. They go on a good run, like you did in Ten Hag's first season. You went on a good run, did all right for a good stint of the season. And then the next season, downhill a bit. The next season, downhill a bit again. It was the same under Solskjaer. It's like they come up because they can play for the new manager, but then they just can't be bothered anymore, and it just goes back down. Which suggests to me the issue. Yeah, literally. It's like you need to. The questions don't end with the manager. The questions end with how the club's being run, how the players are, and their mentality. Because this issue has now been going on ever since Ferguson left, and it's never got much better than where it gets to now. This always seems to just be a 3-year cycle now. It just happens every time.
Yeah. But we're just awful to watch. Awful to watch. It's painful watching.
Yeah, it is pretty brutal. I do feel bad for my mates. Most of my mates are United. Like, I shut the game on in the background. Absolutely hate every minute of it, and go to bed depressed yet again. And it just rinse and repeat every single game week.
Yeah, I was just glad we were playing Sunday because it didn't ruin the whole weekend. But the anticipation of it ruined it anyway. Right? So now I've got a couple of weeks. Like, I don't think it's like 2 weeks. We're playing like 12 days or whatever. Well, maybe 10 days till I feel crap again about it. Don't have to worry about it. And yeah, it's just, we just stink, man. Like, really bad.
Well, enjoy the 10 days off.